Let's take a look at the market today. We'll look at the weekly, the daily, and the intraday charts for the trades of the day. Let's get started here. These are the S&P 500 futures weekly chart. Not too much to review. Just going to do this real quick because not much has changed. A candlestick, basically a doji going on here. Range is 66 so far between today and Monday. So 2 days so far this week. SMI trying to work its way down. MACD, hasn't moved because it would take another candlestick for this to move, or some significant huge candlestick would make this move. But look at this, 205, absolutely nuts. Market is just in crazy land as far as momentum goes. Okay, so nothing's really changed there. Same supports right here. June 16th, you can see I got a strategy going on here. Just let that sit there and brew for a while, see if it turns a profit. Let's go look at the daily chart. Right here on the daily chart, today's candlestick, pretty wild candlestick. Big lower wick after yesterday being kind of a smallish day, red day. Today was barely a green day. Yeah, big lower wick, huh? So obviously this is a little bit coming into play here, but this momentum is still doing that. The market took a really big dive, I think kind of late morning. I'm trying to remember when that happened. I think it was, you just look across the office here at the streaming charts. Yeah, it's actually not really that late morning. It was like kind of happened start around 9ish maybe and ran all the way to 10 or 11. Yeah, it ran till about 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. A big huge pullback. So that's why I got the lower wick right there. And then it did rebound a little bit, and through most of the day it just chopped, and then around 2 o'clock ish, 2 o'clock, it made a huge rebound and came pretty much all the way back up to near and got a little bit above its open and closed slightly above its open. So when I see this kind of activity, it's kind of hard to say for sure whether or not this is good or bad, but my instincts tell me it looks a little desperate. Like this candlestick is a kind of a little bit of a desperate candlestick, right? I mean, buyers are trying to save the market or whatever, or they just see opportunity. I don't really care about bulls, bear. I just care about getting the direction right. I know we use these terminologies to determine direction. That's fine. But it looks like to me this is kind of a desperate attempt to make the market look like it's still in a bull run. But yeah, I see a candlestick like that. That's just kind of got desperation written on it. I could be wrong. We'll see if this thing bounces hard, gets back up to all-time new highs. But I think the odds are against the market right now to go to all-time highs, at least for a little while here. And I think the odds are in favor of the market to continue to pull back. Now, we could have some bouncy days and some chop, and sure, we can have days that rebound and do all that stuff. But I think overall, at least for now, this the whole moving average is kind of telling the story here. I think it's going to be tough for the market to completely rebound and get to all-time new highs. So far, every day it's tried, gets up near the 5270 mark, kind of runs out of gas, and then pulls back. So let me take a look at one more thing, and then we'll switch over to the intraday charts. Yeah, so my final thought about this is, generally speaking, we see this kind of thing here, kind of a near, I guess you could call this a bottom. This sometimes is viewed as the rejection of a bearish trend, right, and a reversal. So, I mean, this kind of happens at the bottom, and I guess we could say we're kind of near a bottom here, and it is possible this is a rejection of a bearish trend, and then we see some very bullish activity here. That could happen. So once again, here we go again. We got these 2 days, and this lower wick with ending like this. Typically, we'd say, well, it's kind of a bullish occurrence right there. But within the larger context of what I'm seeing, it feels a little desperate. So we, again, we have to wait till to see what this week is going to do. I mean, how often do we, big, long, lower wicks, right? I mean, these things, like, typically, if they show up at the bottom of, let's just say it showed up down here, which this one isn't, then you definitely would say, oh, wow, that's going to be a reversal, right? You got one kind of like right there. See that? It's really small. It's not as obvious. And it's not really just a long lower wick. It's kind of a small candlestick because it got that double wick top and bottom. That would be typical after a pullback like that to say, oh, the market's going to go higher. Okay. But here it's kind of in an odd spot. It's kind of in a weird place. It's not really at the bottom of a trend. SMI kind of is, but this is a little bit inconclusive. It feels a little desperate to me. Like we might get a stack of candlesticks here and then a failure. Not really sure yet. Okay. So it's not enough just look at the candlestick. I'm looking at other dynamics here. Momentum still says this. Yeah, temporarily says that. So yeah, it's definitely a sign of the market rejecting just an outright, bearish sell-off here. But I don't know if it's got this sustaining power. So on goes the show, as they say. Okay, let's look at the intraday charts. Okay, so here we are on the intraday charts looking for the trades of the day. Man, let me tell you, there's two trades that stand out just absolutely massive on this chart. On the 15-minute chart here. One is this one right here, the GITTIS Plus indicator. This happened at 7 a.m. And about hour and a half later, massive sell-off, right? So this was 15:30, an hour and 15. Yeah, about an hour and 15 minutes later, hour 30 minutes later. What a huge signal. Okay, if you know how to read this chart, know how to use the GITTIS Plus indicator, which, by the way, if you want to know how to do that and become a member, stick around to the end of the video. But yeah, the GITTIS Plus indicator said, hey, I think there's a trade coming up here. Sure enough, about bam. Huge. This was such a huge moneymaker. It was just insane. I mean, look at this. From 52.70 all the way down to, safely down to 52.20, even got down to 52.10. But let's just call it 50 points. 50 points, man. Oh my gosh. Okay, for those who want to know, for two E-minis, that's $5,000 right there. 5K. With one would be $2,500. Amazing. Right, so if you take your E-minis, and for an E-micro, that would have been $500. You just divide by 10. So if you had an E-micro, that's $500. Not bad work for about an hour or two, right? So if you have a kind of a bigger account, you're going to make 5K here in this area pretty easily. Okay, at least 4,500. If you have a really small retail account, you would have made $500. No problem trading futures right here. And that doesn't prevent you from trading options if you have the margin to do it, right? In other words, what I'm saying is you could make money trading both products, right? And then check this out. So just when you think you're made up, a huge bundle of money, it's still not over. You get another signal down here at the bottom. You wait for it to go green. It goes green. Look at this. It runs up 20 points. So let's say we extract 15. And it's just been an amazing couple days. My goodness. Let me just put the points in there. This was easily 50 points. And I mean without taking the edges. Okay, let's say we take it from there down to there. I think it's 50 points pretty easily. And then here, this was 20 points. So we're just going to say we got 15 out of that. All right. And then it had this. We didn't really get a signal over here, but it still obviously was tradable. Once you saw this candlestick, you could start trading it if you wanted to. But yeah, you got this massive run up that happened starting at 2:15. Which, by the way, for the members, I had the hourly cycle low at 1 o'clock. And where was the low? coming right into 2 o'clock. So it really didn't happen in the 2 o'clock hour, it happened in the 1 o'clock hour. This is all 1 o'clock right here. The cycle at 1 o'clock was absolutely banging right on the money. Oh my gosh. So this cycle low that happened coming down into here was like, I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. If you were watching the hourly chart, if you watched it at all today, and you saw the cycle low was at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, well, there you go. This 1 o'clock hour was just spot on. Amazing. So I think just from the Giddus Plus indicator alone, if you traded this, that's great. Obviously, that was some extra cherry on the top. But just trading the Giddus Plus indicator alone was 65 points today. 65. And we're talking about a candlestick that, ended up being, this on the daily chart ends up having a big lower wick, a little tiny upper wick, right? The body's really small. The range was really good, but the body's super small. So you get 65 points pretty easily. Okay? So that's $6,500 if you're trading 2 futures E-minis. Okay, half of that is $3,250 if you're trading one futures. Okay, and then you would divide these by 10, so you could put a decimal point here if you're trading the micros. So you made 650 and another, or 325. This would be 2 contracts, right? This is 1 contract. And if you have a bigger account, then you just take this number, these numbers here, and multiply by the number of contracts you're trading. Okay? So it was just a monster day. I mean, yesterday was the same way. I mean, it was just huge. Huge. Yesterday was thousands of dollars. Today was thousands of dollars. Oh my gosh. I know I had at least more than one member that like to trade the QQQ, and they're making huge money on selling puts, and there's people making money all over the place using the service. Okay. All right. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not trying to be an egomaniac here or anything. I'm just saying that people, the membership's pretty decent sized membership, but it's still relatively small, the number of people that are members, which just shocks me. I mean, every day I put out these videos with how much money that I'm making and other people are making, and people still, it's $7.99 a month, guys and gals. I don't know what you're waiting for. Okay, I don't know what people are waiting for. It's crazy. I mean, people are missing, if you're even on a really tiny account, you made hundreds of dollars today. For $7.99 for my membership, well, just, how many times does $8 go into hundreds of dollars? I mean, it's like months and months and months worth of membership. I mean, the market right now is just, because of these wild swings, is ripe with opportunity to make huge money. And the Giddus Plus indicator, even yesterday on the 5-minute chart when I put out yesterday's video, that video proved you can make a lot of money on a tight range day. And here we are in a big range day, and we're still making money. It makes no difference. Small range, big range. Today you just made more money than yesterday. Yesterday was still thousands of dollars yesterday too. Okay, I think yesterday was $3,900 easily in profit, and today is $6,500. Okay, if you're trading 2 contracts, and then like I said, if it's 1, divide it in half or whatever. If you're micros, then you divide by 10, right? And of course, if for the options traders, okay, of course today should have been a huge money maker. I mean, there was opportunity in the market big time. But like I said, with options, you have to kind of plan ahead a little bit, right? You have to nail that strike price, and your timing's got to be really good, right? And with options, at least for me, when I traded options, I always felt like you have to be a little bit ahead, right? You have to know it's coming, have a sense it's coming, and then you take your risk by taking your position, whether it's a straight up call or put or whatever other option strategies you're going to do. That's the only thing I didn't like about options, is you really do have to kind of plan ahead, right? You have to have a good sense for where the market's going, and then you take your position. But with futures, you don't really have to do that. Yes, you do need to plan ahead, but you kind of, with futures, you can react to the market like right now and still make a ton of money. And with options, I know you can do that too, but it's not as lucrative when you're having to do that because everybody's already caught on, right? Now the volatility is obvious and options go nuts, and then you don't extract as much profit if you're just kind of reacting Johnny on the spot. You know what I mean? Now I've had members that they're smart. They're using the hourly chart and they might, like, I know I had at least one or two members that shorted the QQQ the other day, and they made a ton of money. So, you know, there are ways to obviously to plan ahead of options and extract money and get it right. Okay. But with options, I always felt like I said, I always felt like you had to plan kind of further ahead to really extract maximum, you know, to really get a good profit out of it. Where the futures, heck, I could just react right here, guys and gals. Like if I started noticing this pulling back, I can just react and just jump in. I don't have this issue of volatility and, oh my gosh, I'm too late. And that doesn't really apply to futures. You don't have to plan ahead quite as much. You can kind of just react to what the market's doing, and you can see the numbers here are just amazing. Okay, there was no reason not to make money here and here. And then this one was a little bit harder to figure out. In my mind, it was anyway. A little bit harder to figure out, but it was still available once you saw this big green candlestick. I'm sure you can still extract half this candlestick, right? Even if you were late to the ball game here, you could extract the upper half of this candlestick pretty easily. Which that candlestick right there was 26 points. Imagine extracting 13 points. If the only thing you did today was extract 13 points, that's an ugly looking 13. If the only thing you did today is extract that 13 points, if I can get the pencil to work here. If you just extracted half this candlestick, just a half of this candlestick alone, okay, that was $650 on one E-mini, and it was $1,300 on two. Okay, and again, you divide by 10 if you're doing micros. Okay, so it's just huge. I mean, there was just so many opportunities here today. It was nuts, absolutely nuts. This is a money-making machine. Okay, and again, like I said, I don't get it, man. I really don't get how there aren't thousands of members right now in my membership. I mean, a lot of it's just, I guess YouTube doesn't let my videos go out, but whatever. I can't control that. But I mean, just by word of mouth alone, I have a decent sized membership. I'm not gonna go into the number of members that are in my business that have joined. But I mean, it's not huge, but it's a decent size. And I would just think by word of mouth alone, the business would have absolutely taken off by now. But it's been pretty slow growth as far as the business side. Trading's been really, really good, really good opportunities. So it just stuns me that people don't take the service for the $8 a month. It's freaky, just freaky. All right, I'm gonna move over to the 5-minute chart and finish up this video. So here on the 5-minute chart, I mean, there was opportunity here too as well. I mean, you could pick or choose your chart. I thought the 15-minute chart was a little bit better today. Okay, but here's the 5-minute chart right here when its signal came in. I don't think it was quite as good as the 15-minute chart, but it was still pretty good. It came in at about 9:10, 9:15. And then you picked up, let's say, from about 52.50 all the way down to, we could say about 52.20. So maybe 30 points. Okay, here was 30 points, whereas on the 15-minute chart, it was 50 points. See, that's why you got to be paying attention to multiple time frames. Either way, there was a lot of money was made here, depending on whether you traded the 15-minute or the 5-minute chart. But when you get a big swinging day, you want to pay attention to a little bit larger time frame. That'll keep you it'll get you in the trade earlier on the Get Us Plus indicator usually, and also it'll keep you in the trade longer. Okay, but either way, whether you trade the 5-minute chart or the 15-minute chart today, you made a lot of money. Okay. And then there was a trade here on the 5-minute chart to go down. Okay, but I don't think this signal's nearly as good as the 15-minute chart, but you could do it. Okay. I mean, once I saw this big old massive swing, let's just say I traded the 5-minute chart instead of the 15-minute and I only got 30 points instead of 50, which by the way is still great. But I would know, okay, I'm going to switch over to the 15-minute chart because this is a big swing and hawking day. And I want to pay, I'm not going to, how do I word this? I'm not going to switch. What I'm going to do is pay attention to all three charts, the hourly, the 15-minute, and the 5. And when I see opportunity in those charts, I'm going to pick the best of 3. All right. And the service is going to help you do that. It should help you. The more you look at the multiple time frames, the better you'll get at trading them. And you'll realize, wow, the 15-minute chart is giving me the better signal. And you go trade that rather than you trade the 5. Now, yesterday, the 5-minute chart was the butter. That was a $3,000 day. $2,000 to $3,000 a day, all in the 5-minute chart. It was the bread and butter. But today it was a 15-minute chart, and that's how quick the market can change. So when you join the service, you see the streaming. You'll have the streaming charts, and you can look at those charts and learn how to use them. Okay, you should be making an endeavor to look at multiple time frames to extract the maximum profit out of the market. Okay. And it should be clear that Giddus Plus indicator, once again today, just like yesterday, was absolutely banging profit. I mean, look at this signal over here. Let's just say you got a pre-work. Let's say some of you guys and gals work and you can't trade during the day. Look at this, 5:45 in the morning. You're up early. Look at this signal. Are you kidding me? Seriously? Look at that signal. I mean, it's just nuts. So again, the Giddus Plus indicator, it nails it this would be kind of afternoon for London market and really kind of early morning, pre-market USA, how you want to call it. But if you're trading futures, see, that's the other, like I said before, the options you couldn't access this time of day. You wouldn't be able to extract profits out of the market this time of day, right? You missed all this because again, I'm not hacking on options trading. That's great, but here's an opportunity that really only futures is going to tap into. Okay, and what was this? So we take a block. Really, what was this block? 52, 50, another 20 points. Let's just say you're a real go-getter. You're up early in the morning, and you traded the 20. You traded the 50 on the 15-minute chart, and I think it was 20. Think about that, 20, 15, 20. That's a 90-point day. If you're a go-getter and you're paying attention to the market, that's either $4,500 or $9,000, depending on how many contracts you're trading on the E-mini. If it's 3 contracts, you got a bigger account, just multiply this by 3, okay? Again, just divide these numbers by 10, if you're trading micros, because if you have a really small account. Either way, I don't care which way you slice this day. The Giddus Plus indicator and the charts kept you in the trade. They should have, and you should have been making just massive bank. I mean, it was raining money today. Raining money. Both bullish, mostly bullish, but also some mostly bearish, but also some bullish activity going in here that was definitely there to trade, right? Right, because we don't, as traders, right, we don't just trade one way or the other. Right? We are going to squeeze that market for everything it's got. All right? And I've talked about this before, and I'm just going to talk about it here briefly. If you have an IRA, that's where you want to be doing your trading. Okay? Now, I don't know if futures is allowed to be traded in IRAs, so that's a different story. That may not be allowed. I don't think that's allowed, but maybe some brokers allow that. I'm not sure. I don't think it's doable, but there may be other products where you could do it. Like I think the QQQ obviously would be allowed in an IRA. So there obviously are tax advantages to trade in an IRA, right? Now, like I said, with futures, that may not be doable, but there are other ways there's other ways to get blood out of the turnip, so to speak, right? So you want to be thinking smart, right? You got to think about all your options, all of your different ways that you can go about trading in the marketplace. But I really trying to convey to both to the members and to new people out there that are going to be, I know there's going to be new members. I mean, you're sitting on the sidelines right now. You've probably watched my videos dozens of times. I don't know what you're doing. You just need to become a member. I mean, cough up the $8. I'm not getting rich off the $8. Okay, I'm making money in the market. You're not getting ripped off for $8. If you're scared about getting ripped off for $8, I mean, seriously, if the worst thing, let's say your friends and family found out you got ripped off for $8, whoopie-doo. Oh my gosh, you got ripped off for $8. You move on to the next day, right? I mean, nobody's losing sleep over $8. You get my point? The risk is so low. Let's just say I'm the biggest scam artist in the world, which I'm not, but let's just say I was. I'm the biggest scam guy in the world. This is all fluff and baloney, right? And I steal $8 from you because I lied my you-know-what off, which I don't. This is all my opinion. I don't make any false promises, but I'm just giving you the worst case scenario, right? Then you lost $8, okay? I mean, seriously, you lost $8, big deal. You know, if I was telling you to come and join my membership for $250, which, you know what, it'd be worth it. I mean, seriously, $250 a month would be worth it with the amount of money that's being made in this service. Okay. So I'm just trying to put this in context, you know. For those people that have watched my videos and sit on the sidelines, I don't know what you're waiting for. And tell other people about the service, because this is an amazing deal. And I honestly believe that when this service does start to take off, like I said yesterday, I may have to hire someone part-time to manage like the support issues and stuff, because it's going to happen. And then I'll have to raise the price, okay? So, you know, be smart. Take advantage of the ridiculously cheap $8 a month, $7.99, okay? All right, that's it for the video. If you want to become a member, stick around to the very end. I'll show you how to do that. What another amazing day. I think there's going to be tremendous opportunity. Gold today, too. Again, gold was just on fire. You know, gold's going to go to 40. It's going to go up to, what is it, 2,500? Yeah, I think gold's going to go to 2,500. It may have a little pullback on the daily chart for a while coming up here, but it is going to bounce. Gold's going to go ballistic this year. So there's so much opportunity in the market right now, guys and gals. To not be in it is like, you know, silliness. You know, invest in yourself already. Okay. All right, so if you want to become a member, the discord.com link is in the description right below this video. Make sure you read the instructions, then click on the discord.com link. It's going to bring you to the Get a Server. Then you can click on Server Shop right there. It's going to bring you to this page. There it is. Like I said, $7.99. I mean, it really is a stupid price. I don't know why I charge such a cheap price. Serious. I just like, sometimes I slap myself. Like, but. And I said this before and I'll say it again. One of the reasons I keep this so cheap right now is because I used to be a small retail account trader. I used to trade one little micro futures contract, a call or a put, you know. That's how I used to trade. Okay, because that's what my account size allowed. So, you know, I kind of have a thing for the small retail trader. Been there. I know what it's like to have little money trying to extract some profit out of the market. So I keep the price cheap so people can join, right? I'm not looking to rip people off. I'm looking for people to gain knowledge, get some confidence, be patient, learn how to start making money in the marketplace, and they can do it at a cheap price, okay? All right, the streaming charts are down here. You saw that today in both the 5-minute and 15-minute chart. There's also the 1-hour chart, which I didn't show today. But the Gives Plus indicator is on all these streaming charts, all 3 of them. Okay, so just click on down here, you'll get the streaming charts. All right, and then there's the Gives Plus indicator. There's cycles on the hourly chart. Okay, really, really super sweet. Like I said, the hourly chart today, that 1 p.m. cycle was banging on. I mean, it was really very good. If all you did is trade the hourly cycles, like as a beginner trader, I still think you would make more money than not if you just trade the hourly cycles. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say they're perfect every time, but they've been pretty good, certainly more times than not. Okay, so whenever that Gives Plus indicator on one of the streaming charts, on any of the streaming charts, indicates there might be a trade, it sends an alert over here to this channel, S&P 500 alerts channel, okay? So that's what that channel's for. So you might want to right-click on that and just turn notifications on when you join. And guess what else? I also have gold that I stream. So these products, the S&P 500 futures and gold futures, both stream 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, okay? So the gold also sends alerts just like the S&P 500 charts do to this channel. You can just turn that on too if you want to get the alerts for gold. You just right click on it and turn notifications on. All right. So when you join, just ask me. You can just say, hey, get us in the chat channel. Where is the link for the gold streaming charts? I'll give it to you. You can also ask me if you're a new member, hey, where's the video for new members? And I'll give you that because it's a really good video. It'll get you pointed in the right direction about how I use my own indicators and the Gives Plus indicator and the other indicators and how I go about reading the charts and extracting profits from a futures perspective. And I know there's members right now that use some of those things that I have to trade options. Okay, so whatever you want to do there is fine. All right, but just ask me about the video links and I'll give them to you. Okay, premium symbols. I just put premium symbols in here today. I think I saw in there, there was lumber in there. For futures, you don't see that very often. Yeah, it was lumber in there and palladium. which is an extremely expensive product to trade, but it's in there. And there's optionable stocks in there. I don't think there was any industries in there today, but most days there's be industry symbols in there. And there's short symbols in there that look like they're getting ready to be shorted. They're all in this channel, so you might want to check that out. Pretty decent list of symbols in there. Okay. Occasionally I trade currency. If I do, I'll put it in there. The Get Us Only post channel. This is where I put the link for the video I'm doing right now. So at the end of each day, when I get done doing this video, I'll post the link in here in this channel. You can go right in there and you can watch the daily video. I do that Monday through Thursday. So the members get the video every day. I mean, the public gets the video too, but there's things about that video, okay, that are just helpful for everybody, but they don't get access to any of these channels. But the videos go in this channel every day, okay? And I also put out the nightly email, okay? Only members get the nightly emails. So I also put that in there every night. I drop in there, hey, okay, the emails have gone out. So put your email, if you want, when you join, put your email address in the emails only channel. I'll pick it up and you'll start getting the nightly email. So speaking of the nightly email, every night I send out a daily chart of the S&P 500. Okay, and on there is the daily cycles that are on there that are really good. You get the support and resistance lines are on there. Okay, really good. And I usually put 2 or 3 sentences at least minimum of what I think the market's going to be doing either the next day or very soon. Okay, so a really good email goes out every night. Solar activity. I've been talking about this lately. About a week, it was late March, I predicted there was going to be some earthquakes. They made that prediction based on the sun's activity, solar activity. And sure enough, we had a slew of earthquakes, some pretty big ones. They came right in within 2 weeks, just like I said. So yeah, I use solar activity to predict earthquakes. All right. And I also use it for other things. It affects human behavior. It affects activities on the face of the earth. And believe it or not, it has some impact on the marketplace. So that's why it's here. Okay. Yeah, but I predicted earthquakes. I didn't predict a location, but I did predict the earthquakes and approximately their magnitude. I said 6.5 or higher earthquake or more than one is going to happen. And sure enough, in the South Pacific, we had a 6.4. We had a 6.5 the next day after that. We had the 7.5 or 7.4, I think it was in Taiwan. And then just yesterday, we had a 6.4, I think in Thailand. Okay, so very busy earthquake. I don't want to call it season, but earthquakes going on since we had that massive solar spike that happened in late March. Okay, you really should subscribe to that channel because every once in a while some really amazing things I'll post in there. Your jaw's going to drop on how the sun impacts the earth so dramatically. Okay, occasionally I do trade fixed income. If I do that, it's corporate bonds. And then these 2 channels up here is where all the chat happens. Support, if you need support, you can just chat me up here in member chat and say, hey, get us. Usually I'm not getting my emails, and then I'll take care of it, okay? So just think about this. Everything in this vertical rectangle is members only. The public does not get access to any of this stuff I just talked about for $7.99 a month. The S&P 500 streams, the gold streams, alerts that go with it, the premium symbols, okay? The daily emails Monday through Thursday, the nightly emails Monday through Thursday. I'm keeping track of the solar activity, and of course you've got member chat going on here as well. Guys and gals, for $8, that is a crazy value. Crazy. Take advantage of it. Okay, let's talk about the rules. You got to read the rules when you join. If you don't read the rules and you break the rules, that's your fault. Okay, and then I'm going to be in your face about it because I'm going to say you didn't read the rules. Okay, so make sure you read the rules when you join. The rules are a disclaimer there that I'm not a financial advisor. I don't give financial advice, guys. Everything I say in this video and do is educational purposes only. Same thing with this entire server. Yes, it's a service and it's there to help people, but it's strictly for educational purposes only, okay? There's no financial advice implied whatsoever. You are responsible for your own trades. So we got to do that because that's the way it is, okay? But I think the service is going to help you tremendously. I think you should take advantage of it. But you got to make your own trades. You got to be responsible for your own trades. Okay, so that's in there. The refund rules in there. You got to read the refund rule. Okay, make sure you read it so you understand what's going on. And then lastly is some rules in there about being nice, be respectful. Don't post any dirty pictures, or don't post dirty links, no foul language, nothing disrespectful. Okay, I'm a Christian. So this server is basically a very conservative server. If you come in here with your leftist, Democrat, socialist ideology and start trying to spew on my server, you're going to get confronted immediately. I'm going to warn you about it. Okay, don't do that. Yes, you can join the service, but keep your politics to yourself. If you can't handle it, you don't like that, then don't join. Okay, miss out on making thousands of dollars for $8 a month. Okay, that's your choice. Okay, but you're free to join. Just be nice. All right, but I'm not going to tolerate the garbage on the server. No garbage on the server. No nastiness. Okay, don't bring it here. If I have to, I'm going to warn you. I'll remove the content, and if it gets bad enough, I'll kick you. And if you keep being a jerk, you're going to get banned. Okay, and it's going to be your own fault. So don't do that. Be respectful. Be nice. All right. So make sure you read the rules. All right. I got to say all those things, guys, because like I've been saying, there's always one or two people that come into the service and they come in with their ego and they think they're the big shot and they start doing silly and stupid stuff. Then I have to kind of calm them down, like reel them in. They want to tell the whole world how great they are, So anyway, so that's why I got to say all these stupid things and all these disclaimers, because that's the way it is in today's world. Occasionally, guys and gals, what happens is somebody will jump on the server and claim to be me. They'll claim to be Giddus. They might try to send you a direct message, a DM, and say, hey, click on this link, come and buy my stuff. Just for the record, so everybody knows, I never, ever direct message members. Never. So if somebody's direct messaging you and they're claiming to be Giddus, it ain't me. So just be super careful. Okay, they're probably trying to con you into some Chinese friggin' stupid link thing and get into your account and bust you and break your account and make a bunch of money and do all this stuff, right? So just be super careful. All right, I try to ban these guys when they come on, but sometimes it's hard to catch them. Yeah, they're very clever. I think they're using the Discord API. So just be careful. Everybody's all the businesses that are running Discord servers got to deal with this problem. I wish Discord would get their what together, but it's it's kind of a problem. So just be aware. I'm warning you, just putting it out there. Don't ever respond to somebody proactively contacting you claiming to be Giddus, because it ain't me. All right. If you friended me and we had a little chat, like we decided to discuss each other and friended, that might be a different story. But even then, I'm very reluctant to DM people for that purpose alone, because a lot of people use it to disguise their identity, right? So I don't do that. That's why I just stay away from DMs. If you want to talk to me, just talk to me in the chat, and normal open chat in the member chat, so I know it's legit. Okay, I don't like DMs for that purpose alone, because a lot of shitty stuff goes on. As soon as you see somebody dropping a link in there, that's like, seriously, you got to really be super careful. And if they're asking for private information, your name, any kind of information, where do you live, all that stuff, how much money you make, what's the size of your account, don't give them any of that crap, okay? I don't ever ask any of my members any of that stuff. I don't care. I don't need to know how big your account is. I don't need to know how old you are. I don't need to know your birth date. I'm just here to help people be better traders. So I never ask those invasive kind of questions, all right? So just be careful, all right? All right, I think that pretty much covers it, guys and gals. Hope everybody had an awesome day. There's a lot of money being made in the marketplace, guys. The world right now is on fire for profit. So I encourage you to take advantage of the service while you can, okay? Happy trading, everybody. God bless everybody. Talk to you all real soon again next time.